Tagging from third is Suarez. Goodell comes running in. He's under it, makes the catch. Here's the throw to the plate. It's in the air. He is out! Cameron Rick hangs on! Oh, man, what a play! Deep to right field. Way up there and way out! Second
And welcome back to the Stupid Money Podcast. As things could not be any better over here. I mentioned when I did the solo one, I was like, this would have been the most positive episode ever had Sean been here. He's back. The Phillies survived. They didn't survive. They literally kicked the shit out of them, which was insane. You weren't here. I did pick the Braves in 5, actually. So reverse.
I didn't know that. I didn't listen to it.
Well, that's why I texted you too, and I was like, "What's your pick?" And you were like, "What?" And I was in the middle of doing it, and I was like, "I'm not gonna go through this with him. I'll just whatever." So I didn't have anything from you, but yeah. So 3-1, and if it wasn't for a Rhys Hoskins error, they probably would have swept them. I think so. This insane.
Yeah, man. I mean, holy shit! What a series! Oh my!
Yeah.
Bryce Harper, Aaron Nola, the bullpen,
Alvarado. Damn.
Oh my god, dude! It doesn't feel real that we were talking about blowing up this entire team 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
What? Bad. I mean. You were setting some dark stuff. I was like, you know what? They're going to get Trey Turner. It's going to be all right. But there was some dark stuff being sent.
I was not – because I was just
I'm not blaming you either.
No, the last 10 years have just scarred me and a lot of other people, I feel like, to the point where it's like when they got swept by the Cubs, I was like, you got to be kidding me. They're really going to do this again. And then, I thought they played okay against the Nats and the Astros, but – to me, it was always that they were a way better team than the Cardinals. The Cardinals' record was just so inflated by the fact that they had 3 teams that lost 90 or more games in their division. They're not a good team at all. And so that's why I picked the Phillies for that, because I just flat out thought the Cardinals sucked. This, though, was more than I ever expected.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in August when we started talking about the playoffs, I was like, the Brewers suck, and the Cardinals, they're not good either. So if we get the last wild card, we got to play them. I love our chances. So that's why you and I, we probably took, we both took the Cardinals. I remember that podcast. I mean, you both took the Phillies against the Cardinals, and in 2 games too. We both said that.
Yeah, we both said 2.
Yeah. But the Braves, man, defending champs. Stacked roster, good pitching. Spencer Strider, where's Daddy? Where's Daddy?
Yeah. He got us in the regular season, but we got him when it mattered. Which
man,
that was nuts.
The Braves changing their profile pic to the mustache for the start, and they changed it right away. Oh.
Yeah, I didn't even because I usually go on the other team's Twitter account after a big loss, and it's mostly because I want to see what the Mets fans are saying, because they're so entertaining. So I didn't even notice that the whole mustache thing, they changed it so quick. So that was funny.
So quick.
That's so funny. But I'll tell you what, in the first inning, in the first game, when there were 2 quick outs, and then they just rattled off 4 straight singles and scored 2 runs, right then and there was when I was like, oh, wow, they might actually do this. I know that sounds crazy. It was the first thing in the first game, but just them with 2 outs to rally and get 2 runs off of a really good pitcher. That kind of I was taken back by that. I was like, oh, okay. They came to play. They have a legit shot here. And I mean, they scored 7, got shut out, and then scored 9 and 8. The offense outside of one game was just insane.
Which is what we were expecting the entire year, pretty much. These guys get on base. These guys can hit. and we saw it. Like it's not all just a home run.
No, that's they've done both, which is,
Yeah.
it's good to see. Like, the Yankees rely on the home run, and then like the Guardians rely on the sacks and the singles and all that kind of crap. And the Phillies are just kind of like somewhere in between, and it's working. And it's hard to stop when they're stealing bases, they're walking, they're hitting home runs, and then they're also getting those bloop singles and stuff. Like what the mojo they have going right now on offense is insane. And it really started in that ninth inning against the Cardinals when they destroyed Helsley. Like, because that was all like weird stuff, like walks, getting hit, singles through the hole. Like, that's when I think it kind of everything shifted for them. And from that inning on, they've played on fire.
I was just gonna bring that up. Like, if that inning doesn't happen, I mean, we're probably talking about the offseason right now.
Yeah, I think we are. Yeah.
And it just lit like a spark underneath all of them. And then the Bryce home run happened the next day. And let me say,
okay,
I was in Arizona for that game. There was a Philly bar. It was all Phillies fans.
I saw the video. Yeah,
dude, when he hit that home run, bottles were flying. It was insane. There were so many like just Miller bottles just flying everywhere. Bud Light bottles. It was crazy. Oh my God.
You know what, the at bat, and I said this on the last pod because I thought it was the at bat of that series. But now, after what we just talked about, I think it's the at bat of the playoffs so far. It's Bryson Stott in the top of the 8th in Game 1 against the Cardinals, getting that walk that forced the Cardinals to bring in Helsley, and then he was all screwed up by having to come back in for the second inning. If he doesn't have that walk, I don't think they bring him in because they're not worried about the tying run coming to the plate. That walk literally changed the entire playoffs.
I mean, Stott has had 2 big time at bats in that Brave series. Like, the double down the line, the 7 pitch at bat where he started 0-2. Unreal at bat. This guy's a rookie. I know he's 25, but like this guy's a rookie and he's doing this shit.
Yeah,
that's why like it was just a home run of a pick because he's such a good ball player. Like the play he made yesterday in the field. Oh my God! And what a pick by Reese! Finally, catching the ball. But like he's just such a good ball player, and like that's like what this team is. That is the Phillies' worst position player right now, Bryson Stott, and he's making these plays.
Yeah,
it's unreal that like we're here. Like literally 3 weeks ago, we were like, oh my God, this team sucks.
Yeah, and our boy Cassiano showed up. Like, he played great against the Braves. And, I will say my concern was I actually thought when I said Braves in 5, I thought the Phillies were going to be up 2-1 because I thought Wheeler and Nola would get the job done. My concern was what was going to happen when they had to go to that 4th guy and then going back to Atlanta in a Game 5. That was where I was worried. And the fact that Noah Syndergaard gave you 3 really good innings, like him striking out Acuna when the game started, I was like, okay, that's game. Like, I didn't need to see anything else. Like, I was like, okay, that's it.
Acuna, what a brutal game.
Oh, brutal series, honestly. If it wasn't like
first game,
two of his hits were like because Bohm, like yeah, like he actually had a terrible series outside of like one double. So yeah, he came back with a vengeance to win his own World Series, and that didn't go well.
Like he didn't back up the JT.
Yeah, that too.
Yesterday, what a loser! Like that, I love Ronald Acuna. I have his jersey and everything. I get it. Like I root for a Braves guy, but what a loser! Like, your team wins the World Series without you. You're finally there, and you just lay an egg. The biggest game of your career. Pretty much.
Yeah, well,
couldn't be us.
Tough, yeah, couldn't be us. Darno, though, must know, like, only dude that showed up really for the Braves. It felt like gave us a lot of trouble. But the middle inning bullpen guys just like exceeded my expectations through the roof. And this was without Robertson, with that whole nonsense where he's not on the roster. Like Bellotti pitched well and Hand pitched well, and then Eflin gave up the home run in Game 1, and then after that, he was a lot better the other kind of times he came out. So I was happy to see that. But then Alvarado and Dominguez are like playing the best ball they've ever played of their lives right now. And that's why I'm like confident in this team going forward, because they have two guys who throw 101 with movement in the back of that bullpen. And they made some of the best hitters in the league. The Braves have a lot of good hitters. You have Kuna, Olson, Riley, all those Swanson, all those dudes. They made them look stupid. Like they just overmatched them the entire series. And to me, that's like the most impressive thing is the fact that we can trust the bullpen.
Yeah, I mean the entire team's just playing loose. They're just like they're having fun, and it's finally they're having fun. Like thank God they're good, because like what we were saying before the season started, we're like, dude, they're gonna win 90 games. Like they might win the division. I was listening to our podcast on the plane going to Arizona for our preseason predictions, dude.
Yeah,
me and you both had them winning the division.
Did we really? I thought I said they were a wild card team.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, and we also bet on it.
Oh, I don't remember that. I could have sworn I said they were wild.
Yeah,
I might be thinking about like 2 years ago.
I was shocked too. I was like, I definitely feel like I said they were going to win 90 games, but the division part was kind of a shock. And I was like, yeah, we both said it. So
I didn't think we did, but all right.
We both were like, the
Wow.
Mets, they're not that good. That we have a better lineup than them. And then we were like, the Braves are going to be hungover for the year. Like,
that kind of happened for a little bit.
Yeah, it did. They won 100 games, but
yeah. But the hangover thing was real for a little bit.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that was kind of where I was getting to. I thought we were going to start a little better, and then their hangover would be the difference, but that didn't happen. I guess that was probably my thinking at the time. But
yeah, and we also brought up like DeGrom, and then at the time we did the podcast, we like brought up maybe Scherzer's not even like going to be ready for the year.
Yeah, he was banged up
at the beginning. Start. That was it.
Yeah. Then he missed a bunch of time in the middle of the year. Then
with the thumb.
Yeah, and then he looked like crap in the playoffs again, which, yeah.
They owe him like what, $45 million next year?
Something like that, yeah.
Crazy deal.
You cannot give that much money to an arm with that much mileage on it. I don't care how good he is. Like when it comes time to actually be good, it's not going to be good. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And that's where I think the Phillies.
I agree.
That's where I think the Phillies, honestly, like Wheeler missed those 2 years with the Tommy John or whatever for being kind of an older guy. There's not a ton of mileage on him. And that's why I think he's going to like age good. And we're seeing it so far in the playoffs. Like he's looked dominant. I know it says 3 earned runs next to his name. Look, they're unearned runs. I don't know what else to tell you. Like that should have been an error. Like the dude has done 12 and 1/3 innings, no earned runs in my opinion. And then Nola has done the same with no runs. Like it's insane.
Dude, Nola's stats in October, 19 innings, 0 earned runs. Like Mr. October.
Yeah, so much better than the September version. It just needs to get a lot colder, I guess. It can't.
I
be
know.
Like
I was just gonna bring that up. I was
just
say,
weird.
Like, it's been nice weather. Yesterday was beautiful.
Yeah,
70 degrees. It's partly cloudy. It was like no wind at all. It was beautiful.
Yeah. So I guess we gotta look forward now. So they play the Padres, which is an interesting matchup, and I don't know if the script maybe could have been written any better, because you have the whole Machado Harper free agency coming to a head. You have Harper versus Snell, the whole broken thumb thing, coming back. There's just a lot there between these two teams that makes the Nola brothers. There's a lot between these two teams that makes this incredibly interesting. The Phillies went 4-3 against the Padres in regular season. The Padres are a lot different, obviously, with Soto and Bell and Hader and all that, but I don't know. I'm like beyond the point of betting against this team, because the vibe they have going on right now is kind of what we saw from, like when the Phillies were good in 10 and 11, they were probably the best team over 162. They lost to that team that was hot and had that mojo both those years. And like now I look at them like I think that's them. Like that was the Nationals, that was the Braves last year. Like it looks like them. And I know the people are going to say the Padres are the same exact thing. And I think to an extent they are. But the thing I think beating the Dodgers was like the hump for the Padres. Like I'm not going to say they're going to put their foot off the gas, but like I feel like they maybe accomplished what they set out to do, and I'm not sure there's as much drive there as maybe there is with the Phillies.
Yeah, I mean, one thing is like a guarantee for this entire series is both, home field advantage is going to be massive because
Mhm.
San Diego also fucking bumps. Like you've been watching these games for the playoffs, holy shit, dude! It sounds just like Philly, if not like a little bit like louder. Honestly, it's yeah. I mean, yesterday was crazy too with the Phillies crowd. Oh my god,
Yeah.
the entire weekend too. The fake mock chop.
And
Oh,
dude, I think the Braves had to stop playing Azuna because he wanted no part of going up to the batter's box when they were chanting at him. Like I was
what?
listening to it,
Yeah,
and like the first at bat against who pitched game one at in Philly, Nola, right?
yeah, it was
Yeah,
Nola.
Nola. Yeah, he blew him by on like those three breaking balls that were like in the other batter's box, and I was like, yeah, he wants no part of this game. Like he's done. Like
They showed him in the dugout after he struck out, and he was like, What were they saying? What were they saying?"
he wanted no part of that. It was so funny. I was laughing. I was on my couch laughing. It was so funny. But that's like home field advantage, and they're gonna probably say crap to Machado too, and Snell's gonna definitely hear it if he pitches in Philly. Like it's gonna be ugly for him. But that's what they need because we talk about the top three in the Phillies rotation. It's kind of the same thing with the Padres. It's Musgrove, Darvish, and Snell, and they're the guys that pretty much with the offense, but those three guys have carried them kind of through this playoffs to this point. So it's going to be interesting matchups. The Phillies get to reset the rotation though with the off days, which is nice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we get 4 starts out of Nolan Wheeler.
Yeah,
I love our chances.
yeah, and I don't know, Ranger didn't look good in his last start of the regular season against the Astros, and I wrote that off as it was
Yeah,
the game. It was
hungover.
the game after they clinched. Everybody was drinking or whatever. Like I doubt he cared, and he's probably hungover. And then, in the start against the Braves, I've never seen him struggle that much with command. Like it was a little concerning. So I'm just hoping that doesn't happen again because I don't know if he's going to get as lucky another time through with you got some timely double plays and stuff to get out of that. But I'm hoping that goes a little better this time through.
If we're gonna like bring up him being hungover for the game 1 against the Braves, I mean, he was kind of hungover.
That was like, come on, that was like a day later, 2 days later.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like he doesn't drink all the time. Maybe.
I don't know, the way they've been going, it looks like they do a healthy amount of drinking there, especially
Yeah.
Schwarber and Alvarado too. Alvarado's feeling himself. It's funny. It is funny to watch that dude celebrate.
Boom is also funny as shit.
Him, Stott, and Maton are
Yeah.
like it's like a frat. Like that's what it like to them. This is like Thursday all the time. Like they're just going through it right now. Like they are so goofy. It's so funny.
It is like a frat. Like they're having their like senior
Yeah.
week moment.
There's a lot of like frat dudes on that team. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like
Like
even Schwarber.
Marsh is like a frat guy. Like
Yeah.
he's like a freaking alpha. Just
Yeah. Yeah, that trade was good. I think we have to fully acknowledge that they knew what the hell they were doing when they made that trade, and the Angels looked absolutely stupid for Marsh looking like crap on them. So, that's to be expected.
I mean, I think it's a win-win trade for both. I think Logan Hobby's
Yeah.
gonna be really nice for them.
Yeah,
Nice
it's just
hitting
where's he gonna
catcher.
play here? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I still like disagree with like the value that we got, but like if Marsh is playing like this, like it's a home run of a
Yeah.
trade. I mean, and if you look at like all of like the success the Phillies have had, a lot of it is Dombrowski moves. It's like Alvarado, first move that
Mm-hmm.
Dombrowski ever made. It's Emmanuel Sosa just winning games against the Cardinals and going in to Atlanta and just hitting a double down the line his first at bat. Like
Yep.
it's just winning baseball and then like it's the marginal moves. Like
Mm-hmm.
we got Brandon Marsh who he's playing out of his mind right now
Mm-hmm.
for a guy that we were never going to use.
Yeah.
So,
But,
like,
I think that kind of goes to what I've talked about a lot on here with you. And, we've discussed this a lot was the Phillies needed to get better in those marginal areas. Like I've always said to you, like the roster is 26 deep, but if you stacked up the top 12 players on each roster and like did the top 12 as the most talented or whatever, like the Phillies would be in like the top like 5 or 6 of baseball. But the problem was they struggled with, the next 14 spots. And I think what Dombrowski did was he filled those spots with guys that, are capable players. And that's why we're seeing the difference.
yeah, like guys like Nick Maton are getting left off the roster. And I mean, 2 years ago, Nick Maton playing at this level he was this year,
He was sorry.
he'd be starting every single game.
Yeah.
He would be. So like that's how like different they are right now. And this is why I keep on saying like this is the worst they're gonna be for a while.
It does, and now I think we're seeing that, yeah.
The farm system's coming up, man, and they're gonna, Middleton's like seeing like any asset that he wants to give to Dombrowski, he has it now.
Mm-hmm.
Like he has that trust, he does.
Yeah.
So, also, how about Rob Thompson? Did you talk about the extension?
I can't remember if that came out. Like, no, I think I did mention it. Yeah, I did mention it.
Okay.
But I think that the timing of that was just so great because I think it gave these guys a jolt. And like you saw a couple of them on Twitter, like say stuff right as it happened. And, I don't know if that was planned or they just did it because they had that off day on Sunday or whatever to do it. But the timing could not have been better. And I hope that was planned because if it was, they look like absolute gods for doing that.
Yeah, it's awesome. And it's also like they only gave him 2 years too. So like we're not locked in to anything.
Right.
Like they gave Girardi 4 years, which I just can't stand giving coaches anything more than 2.
Mm-hmm.
So just it's beautiful. Philly Rob, baby.
Yeah, I mean this just been awesome to see. We're finally gonna get some night games too in the bank, which will be cool. I won't be able to see any of them because I'll be in State College and Penn State plays at the same exact time on Saturday. And I just hate life because of that right now. And I don't know, I'm just in a miserable spot with that right now, I guess.
You'll deal with it.
I'm hoping we're up by a couple games and I don't have to really worry about the outcome of that game too much where it's do or die. But I mean, I don't know. I can't even say like I'm excited. I'm more in like shocked right now that this is actually where we're at, considering they were 21 and 29. And, you and I were like, just like, what the hell are they going to do? Like we were talking about like possibility of them having like trade Bryce and stuff. Like could they do it or whatever? And it's
I
like,
never said that.
All right. Well,
we were definitely talking about trading like JT and
okay,
like
maybe JT.
Castellanos.
Yeah. But I think we mentioned the fact that it's like impossible to trade Bryce. Like,
yeah.
But that he would get mad. There might have come to a point where he maybe wanted out, if they got bad. I think that's what we said. Not so much they should trade him. But yeah, this has been the 180 of 180s. But like that's what I'm saying though. Like I look at the Braves and the Nationals, the last 2 teams to win a World Series over a full 162, and it was the same exact story. It really was. And that's where I'm like kind of getting that, that hope. And, it looks like it might be the Astros on the other side. And who's the team those 2 teams beat in the World Series? It was the Astros. So, I don't know.
If they go to the World Series, man, I can't believe we're here.
Now 4 more wins, they get to go to the World Series, and then really all bets are off at that point.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Padres, they've seen Soto a lot. They know what to expect. They've seen a lot of Bell. Bell somehow always killed them when he was with the National. I never understood that. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen again. That would be great. I think they've handled Machado. It feels like, I don't know. The difference maybe is the Padres, to an extent, are relying heavily on players that aren't really known for their offensive prowess right now. Whereas the Phillies, and Austin Nola, and Profar, guys that have seen are like average to below average hitters. So like, is that going to continue? Whereas the Phillies are like, it's Bryce Harper. It's the guy making 330 million. It's Castellanos, the guy making 20 million a year. It seems like JT, the guy making 24, whatever he makes a year. So it's, I feel like the Phillies' success is a little more sustainable from that aspect because it's looks like kind of less of a fluke, I guess, so to say.
Yeah, I mean, we still haven't even got Schwarber going yet, and like
Yeah.
Reese, I mean, he had 2 hits yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
If he gets hot, man, oh my god, like top of that lineup. If those 2 get hot, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, and then pretty much all you're asking from Segura, Stott, and Bohm is like just slap singles like
Just
through
do
the
your job.
hole. Yeah.
Hit the guy over, whatever.
Yeah, and that's what I like though too, because even if the home runs aren't coming, if a guy singles, like they'll bunt him over and try to get the run across to get something going, because they've shown the willingness to do that so far, and that will continue against San Diego. So I don't know, man. San Diego, I think it's a good matchup. I don't know.
I wanted to play the Dodgers, but
Yeah,
I'm fine with whatever. It's not that big of a deal.
no.
It's just like, just beating the Dodgers, it would have been like vintage, just like all those series that we had as kids, just Broxton, getting rocked and all that good stuff. So it would have been fun.
Yeah, that would have been fun. Yeah, it would have been fun, but yeah, I don't know. The Phillies broke Josh Hader and made him bad, and now he's good again. So it's time for Bohm to break him again, I guess. Is kind of what we got to go for here. I mean, I don't. Verling's on the roster. At least he should be. So we'll get that. I'm interested if they go with Maton over Hall tomorrow. I guess we'll find out tomorrow.
I guess they should. You should definitely be over the roster over Guthrie. I think that's the one.
Yeah, I think part of the reason Guthrie is there is because they want to do that entire and they want to do like that entire line change in the outfield at the end of the game. Like they want to get both Schwarber and Castellanos out of there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I thought it was more because like the Braves had a ton of lefties in the pen, and Maton, he's just another lefty bat. Doesn't really provide much defense upgrade. So
yeah, I mean, because you have Sosa to back up Stott and Segura, so he's a little less value. Yeah, and not a lot of those guys on that bench don't have power, whereas Hall does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Hall has to be on the roster.
Yeah, just because he's the only guy on that bench that really provides that threat. So, and then we'll see with Robertson. He's throwing. I think he threw today, and they're gonna see how he feels tomorrow before they have to make the final roster. So, we'll see. It'd be nice to get him back.
Over like Nick Nelson or Gibson.
Yeah, I think it'd be Gibson because Nick Nelson didn't make the roster.
Yeah, but like, thank God Kyle Gibson hasn't pitched.
That's why they're winning. Just so you know, like that dude.
Like just seeing him in the pictures and everything, like why are you here, bro?
It's the meme, like when you do nothing but get the A on the project or whatever, like that's him. That's it. Okay. Like, but that was my concern a little bit, was that this dude might start game 4 against the Braves and we'd be screwed. But thankfully they won't Syndergaard, and his experience paid off. He looked better than I honestly expected. I knew he gave up a solo home run, but whatever.
It was like no hard contact at all. It was a lot of swing and misses he had. The home run, and that was pretty much it. It was solid.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they go to this time around, because I think they kind of went to Syndergaard by default because Gibson and Falter just had terrible numbers against the Braves. I'm interested to see if that changes now. If they got to pitch those guys in one game, I think, right? Game 4. So I'm interested to see who they go to then. I think it also will depend, on the situation. If they're up 2-1, if they're down 2-1, that's a huge difference in what they might do. So,
all right, you got anything else?
No. I'm just thinking. I'm gonna say 6. I don't know. I think 6.
Phillies in 6.
Yeah, I think they get one in San Diego, win 2 in Philly, and then Nola closes it out in San Diego in Game 6.
I'm doing the same thing as the Cardinals. Like that was going to be my answer, but now I want to like change it a little bit.
Maybe we should talk about this beforehand, maybe, and just be different for the hell of it. But
the thing that pisses me off is they do like the 2-3-2 thing. Like, why can't we just do 2-2-1-1-1? Why? Like,
because they don't want the travel days, and they should
like,
be. And maybe we shouldn't complain because I've always looked at it
cross country.
Yeah, and I've always looked at it from the fact that the away team or the lower seed is getting more home games in like a best of 5 series. If this was a best of 5, which you only need 4 to win, so 5 games is enough to get it done. The lower seed actually has the advantage because they're playing more home games in the time where you could clinch the series. Like I actually think that's a benefit to the Phillies, and it kind of looked that way in the last series against the Braves.
They do. Just like the fact that pretty much all the home games are like must wins,
Mm-hmm.
and like winning 3 games in a row in baseball is so tough. So like if you lose one of those, you already lose. Like you're already down on home games, and if you lose one of those, you're like even more down in the hole.
Yeah.
So like it's tough, but
yeah.
All right, Phil's in 6. Screw it. I'll be the coward.
I don't know. I don't think they're stopping anytime soon. I really don't. They look confident. They're having fun. This is something we really haven't seen in probably since 08, because those 09 to 11 teams were more of like a business act. It felt like a lot of professional, like, we're here. This team though is like literally enjoying the fact that they're there. I feel like like the 2008 team did.
You're not an Eagles fan, but it really does feel like 2017, where like they got in the playoffs, a few injuries, they kind of beat up, and then they get like a little spark, and then they're just playing with house money, and they're a good roster. They realize their talent finally. They're playing free. They're playing loose. All of a sudden, they're in the Super Bowl. All of a sudden, they're in the World Series.
Yeah, there's a lot of resemblance there. I feel like
Yeah,
I'm with it. I mean, it could happen.
Got the entire city just behind a song.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I was gonna play it, but I don't want a copyright strike, so I thought about it. But
I wasn't a fan of the song in the Cardinal series. I started to become a fan of the song, and then being there yesterday, just listening to like the crowd just cheer it. It was just good vibes.
Yeah. Can't say I blame you.
No.
All right. So hopefully next time we speak a week from now, talking about the Phillies going to the World Series. That is the plan. We're not even entertaining the thought of anything else because Manny Machado sucks.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Yeah, that is going to be used plenty of times over the next week, so that'll be fun. Tatis, another wrist surgery today.
Really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, oof.
So
gotta learn how to keep your stars in line.
I have three opposing team jerseys in my closet. It's Lindor. Not a Mets one, though.
Okay.
Actually, no, I have 4. I have Ozzy Albies. Sorry.
Okay. He didn't even play,
Ronald Acuna, and then Tatis. Here's the 4 I have. And
wow, that's just terrible, but okay.
Yeah, the Tatis one is tough now, but
right.
I love them.
Okay. Well, we're gonna finish this one here.
Yes.
Yeah, this has been fun. We'll be talking next week, but it's gonna be for good reason. Just remember that. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Go Phils.
Yeah.